It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning and welcome to City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM. My name is Stuart Walter and my guest this morning is Councillor Kathy Valentino.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's start off by talking about the city's Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, commonly known as LIGA. It's one of those that isn't as well known, I think, in the public as, say, Public Works or Recreation, in that it's not as clear cut as to what the committee does. You were the chair of the committee for 2 years while you served as deputy mayor, and now you're still continuing to serve as a councillor. Could you talk about what the committee does?
Sure. Great committee. I do actually like this committee. So on this committee is the deputy mayor, the mayor, which obviously sits on all standing committees, and then two councillors also sit on it. So that's Councillor Ellis, myself, Deputy Mayor Smoke, and then Mayor Fensky. So this committee meets every other Wednesday afternoon, and it's always the Wednesday before a regular city council meeting. And what it does is, at that Liga meeting, is we set the agenda for what's to be on the agenda for city council on Monday night. So a lot of the things will come out of the other committees, like you said, like any recommendations or anything from Public Works or Finance and Admin will come through that committee, through Liga committee, to get onto the agenda for Monday. So we have a real good discussion about everything that's coming forth for Monday night, whether it be bylaws, resolutions, correspondence, information we receive as council. And then we also take the time to go through our lobbying efforts. So we actually have a chart and with all of the provincial ministers on it and even federal, and we go through what issues we're dealing with within the city for that minister, and if there's been any correspondence or is there a request for a meeting or what's the follow-up, or a lot of that feedback will come from Mayor Fensky and City Manager Gary Sepatelli. So that's a good part of it. We also go through, we have a huge standing agenda item, so we touch base about kind of everything we're involved with, whether it be with the NRHA, with NCN, FCM, AMM, Valet, Thompson 2020. We do a whole little let's touch base on what's happening every 14 days of kind of everything that we have our hands on. It's a very good, very great committee because it's very informative and you really get to, give your opinion on things and ask questions and you learn a lot at it. So it's good.
There is a regular meeting of council on Monday. Could you give the public a general idea of what they can expect?
Yeah, I think it's a fairly light agenda coming from Liga yesterday. And obviously the agenda will be posted tomorrow afternoon for the public. There were a few resolutions coming forth. One, which is a positive thing, we have a little bit of additional funds that have come to us or available from our budget process for the roads works. So we have some hot spots that we've identified before that through our assets and infrastructure department, they have a running list of some hot spots in town that occur every spring for bad areas and potholes. So some of the original budget came in under budget, so we're going to utilize those funds similar to what we did last year. So that's a good news thing. So we'll be able to improve some of our roads within budget. So that's coming forth. We have Thompson 2020 who's going to do another update presentation as a delegation to us on Monday. So that's always good. I know it's supposed to be hot and sunny, so you'll be able to watch the council meeting on Shaw because Thompson 2020 has some really good things in the works.
Moving on to Public Works, could you give us an update when it comes to street sweeping, potholes, and some construction that's coming up?
Absolutely. Okay, the street sweeping. You lucky people in Juniper, your area is done. You guys probably all live in Juniper. We probably did you guys first, right? And Paul's nodding his head. Yes, look at that. And currently this morning they are working in the Riverside area. So that is a slow process, especially when it rains. So it is being done. And we are trying very hard with our social media to keep you up to date of that. Casper does a fine job of that. We're trying to do it similar to how we did the snow clearing is where we are with the street sweeping. So we're trying hard. So if you don't follow us on Facebook, Twitter, I don't know if we're on Instagram or not.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if Casper's on that. But anyways, we are out there. So if you follow us on any of that stuff, you'll see where we are and what's happening daily. Same deal with the potholes. The pothole crew is always available because the potholes never go away. So you can phone into Public Works or City Hall, or keep an eye out because the pothole crew continually works in areas if it needs be. So obviously when it rains, that's a problem because they pop that asphalt or coal mix out. So it's an ongoing battle, but they're still working, and they'll work on potholes all year as needed by all means. When we get to construction, well, we are into our construction season here. The Burntwood Trailer Court, actually, I believe that's coming forth on council, is going to have a little bit more work done to it, more than we had anticipated. So that's going to be starting up. We are also starting, not construction-wise, but you can see that some of the lines have been painted, and we're working on the crosswalks. I think that started this morning also, so the crosswalks will be going. So you have to understand, when we street sweep and now when we're going to paint the crosswalks, it's going to slow down your traffic. So your 2-minute drive around town might be a little bit,
Might turn
3
into
minutes.
5.
Exactly. So be patient with that. We do put that communication out also. So the construction starting there, and the tenders and stuff have been awarded for the paving and whatnot around town. And obviously council just had a tour of the wastewater treatment plant and the construction there, and that social media has been posting that where we are with that. That's absolutely going to be an amazing facility. I appreciate the tour of that, that's for sure.
Much nicer conditions for that tour than the last one that
Yeah,
council went on
yes,
in January.
Absolutely.
Moving on, the Splash Park is apparently supposed to be opening up today.
Okay, fingers crossed, everybody. Apparently, Splash Park's going to open today. The rec department has been a little bit short-staffed there, so that's going to on the schedule to be open today. So please be patient. I'm sure we can get that out there into the media once it's up and running, and then it'll be up and running for the entire I was going to say Christmas season, summer season, and I do appreciate.
I'd hope it wouldn't be open during the Christmas season. That'd be a bit
Wouldn't
chilly.
That be awful? And I do appreciate Corey Sparks' comments this morning talking about the Norplex pool. So please remember Splash Park / Norplex pool. So we do have the pool open and running, and all the programming. I thought it was very crucial how he said today about water safety, and that goes for adults only. It's not just for kids. So we have lots going on there, the CPR courses, the babysitting, swimming lessons. So everything is good and running at the pool right now.
And could you talk about a few events that are coming up? I know it's a very busy time, especially starting next week. There's 2 events starting on the exact same day.
Yeah, it's crazy busy right now in Thompson. So first off, actually today we have UCN doing their graduation down at the TRCC. So that's a huge event, and as a city, we're very, very proud to have the relationship we do with UCN, with their president and their board and faculty. Great partnership there. Education is a key for opportunities here in the north. So that's going on today. So right now today we have a lot of visitors in our city. We obviously have kicking off, well, one of the kickoffs is today with this, but we have the National Aboriginal Day next Thursday, the 21st. That's the 21st, right?
Yep.
This Thursday. We have, of course, Nickel Day starting also on the same day. So
Should
we have
be a fun time in the downtown area on that day.
It's going to be a fun time in town. How about that in general? And we also have the high school graduation is on the 27th. And with that, please be mindful of the fact that school is out in the next couple weeks. So our streets and our sidewalks and people visiting, everything is very, very busy. So please, cautious driving, keep your eyes out for things, and be safe. But we have lots going on, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
No problem, you guys. Have a great weekend.
For City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM, I'm Stuart Walter.